Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video.
Welcome everybody, guys. Let's take a look at the Bitcoin market. So here we need to update our view because the patterns and targets that we have set previously is done, and now we have to make the decision what to do next. So we start from the hourly chart. If you remember, our major suggestion was the reaching of the 618 support around 70, even 70-40 area, because actually that was the motion in favor of the bread and butter trade that we have on a daily chart. So remember, here we discussed the bread and butter sell from the 30% level, and we said, well, minimal target 618 support and probably should be reached, and that has happened. So if we take a look at our 3-drive pattern that we have suggested, that is actually consists of the two side-by-side butterflies. This happens very often. You can see this 127 extension of the first butterfly and 1618 from the first drive and 127 from the second. That's approximately the target that we have specified. And you can see indeed everything is done well. Market indeed has started good upward action, big rally. Minimum target of the 3-drive is done. So market actually has moved above the top between the second and third drive. But here we also see a bit confusing consequences. So theoretically, if market indeed bullish, we should suggest the upward continuation that's started in a really pretty nice way. So you can see this upward rally. But instead of that, we have the sharp reversal and big collapse right back down. And that really confusing all situation that we have, because this reaction on this rally and fast erasing of this rally brings nothing good, and it makes overall analysis complex and significantly hurts the confidence with any trade that you intend to take here. Why the situation stands confusing? Because of some moments that we have. First of all, at the first glance, it seems that this reaction and fast reversal, well, it looks more bearish, which suggests some kind of the downward continuation. And indeed, if you'll take a look at the 4-hour time frame chart, you could see that here we have huge evening star pattern that has been formed with this erasing of this rally here, and it suggests after some minor retracement probable downward continuation. But at the same time, take a look what we have. We have the bullish grabber has been formed here, which suggests the taking out of this top. And I also taking a look at this previous action of the same kind. Maybe it was not a strong rally as here, but take a look. The overall price action seems has some common things. So take a look, morning evening star. Here we also have evening star. Grabber has followed here, and grabber has followed here as well. And take a look what has happened after that. It's rally. So also we should not forget that in general this action is not really very strong. It's gradual retracement, and it stands as a retracement after this upward action. And we can't say that the bullish momentum has been destroyed or something of that sort. From that standpoint, we can't just ignore the fact that really could be some upward continuation right from here. So we could get this A, B equals CD pattern to the upside, despite the forming of some bearish signs that we have, and despite the fast reversal here, although it's really confusing the overall view on the market. Alternatively, we could suggest forming of this AB equals CD down, a bit lower to 69.60 area, and potentially that also could be the butterfly here. I will show you. It could be because 127 extension of this butterfly stands very close to OP target. So here's 69.75 and here's 68.90. So it's just 70-80 bucks difference. For the Bitcoin, it's not really big distance. So that is alternative scenario. And what particular scenario we need to choose, what we should trade here, in what direction. Currently, guys, situation for these scenarios, I do not have really some preference. So currently, I can't say that this is definitely the scenario that will work. But I would say that in the current situation where market stands right now, the bulls have more chances to success because if you plan to take the long position, you could place relatively tight stop. Because here you have the grabber, and you could place the stop somewhere below this area, suggestion that market will continue to move higher. If this will not happen and market will turn down, well, that will be early call, early sign that probably no upward action will happen and market is ready to drop. For the bears, the situation is a bit more difficult because if you even suggest the taking the short position based on this pattern, where you place your stop should be above the stop, and it's really extended point, which makes risk-reward ratio, at best it will be 1-to-1, but it seems something that probably soon will be less than equal, and it will make not very attractive overall situation for trading. So as usual, the conservative approach is just do nothing and sit on the hands and wait for clarity what will happen. So currently what I would say that for the bears, the situation overall stands not very attractive. Well, you could of course try to take the position based on this evening star pattern, but you have the grabber against you. That it increases your risk. And from that standpoint, probably it would be better to wait for a breakout. If market will break it down, the 618 support, and start dropping, that will be a clear signal that market will take it out of these lows and it will continue downward action that we have on the daily chart. That will be answer to the bears. For the bulls, if you do not want to take the position here based on the grabber solely, you could wait for some other bullish scenario. For example, completion of this ABCD pattern and drop back to the 68 area, completion of the butterfly. In this case, at least you will have on your back fib support, you will have bullish butterfly, and you will have ABCD pattern. That at least something. That at least the context that you could use, and at least you could count on maybe just 30% pullback that lets you to move your stop to the break even. But this combination of the extensions, fib levels, provide you protection that you could use to count on some technical response on the support, and that lets you to move stops to the break even. So as you can see, a lot of different scenarios that you could follow, and that choices stands up to you. So depending on your training management, depending on your style, you could choose what better suits to you. But personally, guys, I gravitate to idea of the waiting for a patience. So I prefer to use the patience when you're trading, and this conclusion suggests that probably the best solution is to wait for appearing of the butterfly here, completion of this ABCD, and watching for this level to be hit. If we missed this and market indeed will show the rally, well, that's just a trade and we will take another one. But currently, in the current situation, I would suggest just waiting for this setup to be done and see what will happen. The same thing for bears. I would prefer to see the clear bearish signs. Yes, Morningstar, it's a good stuff, but I prefer to see the breakout of this level and forming the real bearish scenario. Because the breakout of this level will suggest that we could get greater butterfly here on the daily with the downward action below these lows, and that's quite another tune. So that's my opinion on the Bitcoin market, but of course you will make your own decision what to do in the current situation.